Now in this video we will study the fluid mosaic model of plasma membrane. The fluid mosaic model was proposed by Singer and Nicholson in 1972. According to this model, the plasma membrane is composed of a lipid bilayer. The plasma membrane is composed of a lipid bilayer in which the protein molecules are either partially or wholly embedded. Our plasma membrane is like a sea of lipids in which the protein molecules are floating. Unlike the unit membrane model, in this model, the lipid bilayer is not sandwiched between two protein layers. Rather, the protein molecules are either partially or wholly embedded. Now, if you look into this diagram, this is one phospholipid layer, this is another phospholipid layer, making a lipid bilayer. While these protein molecules do not form continuous layers, rather they are partially or wholly embedded in the lipid bilayer. There are two types of proteins: extrinsic or peripheral proteins, which are present on the surface of lipid bilayer. This is extrinsic protein or peripheral protein, right? While these are integral or intrinsic protein. Some are partially embedded while some are wholly embedded. These wholly embedded, completely embedded intrinsic proteins are also called transport proteins or carrier proteins, or they are also known as permeases. This is a pore formed by integral protein. In animal cell, there are some cholesterol molecules as well, while these green chains show carbohydrates. Carbohydrates when attached to protein molecules, so they are called glycoproteins. This is carbohydrate molecule, this green, while this is protein, making glycoprotein. While some carbohydrates are attached to lipids, so making glycolipids, and the association of glycolipids and glycoproteins is collectively known as glycocalyx, right? So these are two types of proteins and carbohydrates: glycolipids, glycoproteins. This is fluid mosaic model, which states that the plasma membrane is composed of a lipid bilayer in which protein molecules are either partially or completely embedded. Now, why this model is called fluid mosaic model? Fluid refers to lipid molecules. Lipid molecules are not static. They show mobility or fluidity. In other words, lipid molecules are in fluid condition, rotating and moving within the membrane. Lipid molecules are in fluid condition. So fluid refers to lipid part which are in fluid condition, rotating and moving within the membrane. Lipid molecules are in fluid condition. The fluid part refers to lipids, in which because the lipid molecules are in fluid condition, rotating and moving within the membrane. While mosaic refers to protein molecules. Mosaic part refers to protein molecules. Protein molecules do not form a continuous layer, rather they occur or float in fluid lipid bilayer in mosaic manner. Mosaic means irregular or random manner. So this model explains that the membrane is like a sea of lipids in which proteins are floating. That is why this model is called fluid mosaic model, in which the fluid part refers to lipids while mosaic part refers to proteins. And this fluid mosaic model is the most acceptable model about the structure of plasma membrane.